Hello, welcome to my channel, 100 Days with Kaju. It is day 21 of building our personal constitution. Woo! I said that kind of fast. Anyway, today's topic is about defining our relationship with our body. It is super important because how we view our body dictates how we carry ourselves. So like if you're very insecure, if you don't like the way you look, if you feel like so out of touch with your body, you'll probably hunch, you'll probably hide away, you'll probably be really closed off. And like those are important indicators that let us know how we view ourselves versus someone who's very confident or very comfortable. It doesn't matter what size or weight or whatever. You sit up straight, you take up as much space as you want. You walk into a room and you don't mind when people look at you because you look great, you feel great. So it's really important to talk about that. And on top of that, how you love your body shows how much you love yourself, right? So like when I go work out or I'm like hurting and my muscles are sore, instead of just like going on my bed and being like, oh, forget it, like I don't care, I'm gonna just feel the pain, I use my foam roller, I maybe use a massage gun, I stretch a little bit because I want to feel good, because I deserve to feel good. I deserve not to feel in pain because I love myself. And I know that's a very weird example, but you'd be surprised at a number of people who just simply allow themselves to hurt because they just don't care about themselves. And again, this has nothing to do with your weight. This has nothing to do with your shape or how you want to change it or how you want to maintain it or whatever. It has nothing to do with that. Literally, it's how you love yourself. These 3 questions I'm going to ask you, I want you guys to pause, take time to think about it. You can journal it separately outside of your personal constitution. Maybe you need a day or two to really come up with an answer or a solution, or to kind of analyze truly like how you act. We'll get to it when we get to it. So the first thing I want you guys to do is to close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Thank you. And think about, in your daily tasks, are you watching yourself through the male gaze? I know, it's crazy, it's disgusting. But we have all been conditioned to view ourselves through the male gaze. And if you think, oh, it's not me, it's definitely you. Matter of fact, you're the only person that is affected. But like seriously, okay, for example, I like to do yoga and stretching in my room in the morning, in the evening, at the gym, whatever. And I hate to admit it, but sometimes when I'm doing a certain pose, and let's say it's like, it doesn't matter what pose, but let's say I'm just stretching, I am viewing myself of how someone would view me, right? Like, oh, do they find me attractive? Or like, oh, let me suck it in. Or like, oh my God, maybe I should go deeper. Like, oh my God, this is so inappropriate for the gym. Like, you're stretching. It's appropriate for the gym, And it's like, I'm watching myself through how someone who finds me attractive would watch me. And it's disgusting. And I've, of course, trained myself not to do that, or to be like, okay, girl, stop. Like, what are you doing? But you shouldn't shame yourself for it. It's something that we've all, unfortunately, been conditioned to see ourselves. Like, that's how we see women on TV shows and movies, and that's how we're constantly told to be like, oh, dress like this because men don't like that, or do your hair like this because men like this, and blah, 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 blah. Who cares what men like? Who cares what men like? Who cares? Who cares? You need to really think about, like, you're in the grocery store. Are you watching yourself the way maybe someone that might find you attractive is watching you, like in your daily tasks? And I use the yoga example because I feel like that's probably the easiest way to think about it. But even in the confines, in the safety of my own room, why am I imagining or watching myself as if I were a man? Insanity. And you really have to sit down. I want you guys to sit down. Okay, you can open your eyes at this point. Sorry, I did tell you to open your eyes. Open your eyes. Look at me. I want you to write down every instance, every small, minuscule task from when you're a child into your adulthood to where you find yourself watching yourself through the male gaze. And it literally doesn't matter if you dress like more covered up, if you dress like more open, it does not matter. If you are doing it through the eyes of a man, if you are doing it to appease a man, then you have a problem. We all have a problem. Yikes. But you have a problem, and we just have to deconstruct that. There's nothing wrong with you. We quite literally have been conditioned since the womb. At this point, you're like, okay, so I watch myself through the male gaze. Now what? How do I fix it? I'll tell you how to fix it. Now, this isn't the only thing you can do. I'm sure other people have like better suggestions, but for me, stop yourself. Literally, you're sitting there imagining if someone's like sitting on your bed watching you while you're like doing a yoga pose, just be like, stop. Stop being weird. Stop. And you're like, okay. Like, you literally just have to tell yourself to stop. And then instead of just saying that, talk about your surroundings. Be like, okay, I'm in my room. Oop, I feel pain in my left leg. Let me stretch out my left. Like, start talking out loud about what you're doing in your surroundings. It makes you present in the moment, and you stop imagining somebody watching you. You stop imagining yourself as a man watching you. Okay? So talk out loud. Be present in the moment. Just say silly stuff. Get your mind off of it. Because the more times you do it, right, in the beginning, you're like, oh my God, I'm doing this all the time. There's something wrong with me. It's okay, because the more times you do it, by the time, what the fuck am I trying to say? The more times you do it, you get so used to it that your mind will automatically do it for you. Be like, oh, no. You don't even have to talk out loud anymore, but you want to build that practice of saying it out loud, consciously making sure that your mind is like, no, don't do this. So then subconsciously, it does it on its own. You got to start consciously first before you can reach the subconscious part. So definitely take your time on that section. It's a hard thing to swallow, but it is very important for us to deconstruct that first. A little FYI, I am creating a personalized affirmation app. And if you haven't done so already, go to my description box, join our emailing listing if you're interested for when it comes out, and to answer my survey so I understand what your needs are. Thank you. I love you. And let's continue with the rest of the video. The second thing I want you guys to ask yourself, and again, close your eyes. When something doesn't go your way, do you punish yourself? Do you punish your body? Now, how you punish your body can vary from something very small and not as detrimental to something very, very serious. And I always advise, like, this isn't something, if this feels like something you can't just fix on your own, please seek professional help. There's nothing wrong with you for trying to seek that professional help. We have literally been conditioned since babies to punish ourselves. And you just need maybe a little more guidance to get you out of that. But I'm just perhaps a starting point. I want to say that there's no shame here. We love you. We value you. You're amazing. When you punish yourself for things not going your way, or something not going good, or you made a mistake, or you're disappointed, or you're embarrassed, or you're ashamed, do you starve yourself? Do you stuff yourself? Are you punishing yourself with food? And again, we will be talking about our relationship with food in our next video, but again, it does relate to our bodies because it affects us. And again, this does not matter about your weight or your shape, but how you interact with it. If something happens and I'm not happy and I seek maybe a cookie or a cake for comfort here and there, and I know, like, okay, I can't always do this, but I'm just in the mood for a cake, that is okay. But if something doesn't go your way and then you reach for that cookie or cake and you're like, well, I'm a fat pig and I'm ugly and this is what ugly girls do. They stuff their faces with cookies and cakes and I deserve to be punished. If that's your mindset, that's not comfort food. Okay, that's torture. That's toxic. You don't need that type of relationship in your life. You have to understand or analyze. You have to analyze how you're interacting with food. Okay, reaching for that cookie or cake isn't necessarily a bad thing, but what is the meaning behind it? Are you punishing yourself? Are you feeling guilty afterwards? Are you going into the mirror and being like, you're ugly, look at you, you fat pig. There's a mirror right here, by the way. You're ugly, I hate you, look at you. This is why you gotta eat that cake, because I hate you. Stop. We don't need that anymore. You're too precious, you're too delicate to talk to yourself like that. You're amazing, you're beautiful. I do have like a semi solution to that. So once you recognize what type of sentiment lingers around what you do after something doesn't work out, again, like I said, if something doesn't work out, you reach for a cake or a cookie or like whatever, like a comfort food, I'm using that example, and you get very angry with yourself, then maybe you need to stop and say, okay, like, I'm only allowed to eat a cookie and a cake when I'm happy, right? So that way you are associating good, happy feelings with it, because cookies and cakes are amazing. I love me some desserts, but eating a dessert and immediately feeling bad, immediately hating yourself for it is not the way. Also, you want to look in the mirror and tell yourself that you're pretty, and literally pick apart things in your body, in your looks, in your hair, in your mouth, wherever that you like. And this is another solution that I have for our next thing, but literally just love yourself. pick one thing. If you can hate every part of your body every single day, you can at least pick one thing to like about yourself. Come on, one thing. Like just say, oh, I love the way this color looks on my skin. Okay, it brightens me up. Okay, and it does. Talk about it. But you definitely want to start there. Again, if you feel like it's a lot more serious than what I am advising you to do, please seek professional help. There's no shame in it. You deserve to love yourself. And if you just need a little push, a little guidance, spend a little money to get there, do it. Do it, do it, do it. Because how you view yourself, how you view your body dictates everything in your life, and you want to feel good. We only have one life. So please spend it loving yourself. And the last thing I want to ask you guys. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys to open up your eyes in the last question, but it's okay. We're on number 3. The last one is, can you look at yourself in the mirror? And this relates to what we just talked about, you know, telling you you look beautiful in the mirror. But can you look at yourself in the mirror? Do you throw up? Do you like recoil at your appearance, at the glance of you? Do you hide from every mirror that comes around? Do you hate selfies? Do you not like taking pictures? Can you look at yourself? Can you look at yourself? And if the answer is a hard no, even a soft no, then we need to fix that. Because you guys, I'm gonna look at this mirror again. I look at myself every single day. I wake up, I go to the bathroom, and I say, good morning, beautiful. Good morning, smart cookie, because I'm beautiful and I'm smart and I'm amazing. And I love the way I look. Even when I have blemishes on my face, I say, it's okay. You know, it just means that it's coming out, that my skin is clearing. I'm like, you know what? My lip gloss is popping today if I don't like the way my skin looks. You look great. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. My edges, all right, they're laid. They're laid today. They look nice. And I didn't even have to do the most for it. I'm picking apart things that I love about myself. And I stare at myself. I look at myself in the mirror all the time. Fun fact. In college, me and my roommates would like have our like we talk. Okay, let me just say that we talk. We loved each other. We talk, and we still love each other now. And we'd be on their, like, my other roommate's side of the room and stuff. It was pretty big. And we'd be chatting, we'd be laughing, and in the middle of the conversation, I would literally like just find myself staring in the mirror because like I don't really feel like explaining like the layout of my dorm, but there was like a big mirror and like 2 sinks right in front of their rooms. Whatever, doesn't matter. I would look at myself in the mirror, and I'm just like, and I literally get lost in the conversation, and they'd be like, Kajo. I'm like, oh, yes. Talk about conceited. I just love looking at myself. And when I tell you, like, before I wasn't really that way, like, not that I would throw up at the sight of myself, but I wouldn't really just stare in the mirror and admire myself. If you cannot just admire yourself for, I don't say hours at a time, but like throughout the day, throughout the week, just find yourself like staring in the mirror. You're like, oh my God, I'm running late because I've been looking at myself in the mirror for so long. Like, imagine that being your problem versus you on your bed crying because you don't like the way you look and that's why you're late. What life is that to live? You're so pretty, you're so beautiful, you're so fun, you're so flirty. Get up. You love yourself. You love yourself. Now pick apart everything that you love. Say, this is what I love. This is what I like. This is what I'm looking forward to. And when I go to the gym, I'm getting abs right now. For years I've wanted abs, right? And I've had like a lot of like weight around my stomach. Not that a lot, but like comparatively to the rest of my body, I was pretty muscular in my stomach area. Wasn't, which was okay because I'm like, I'm still cute. Like, regardless, I started getting abs. I was admiring my body, my midriff area, before I even got the abs. So when I got the abs, it was nothing different. I wasn't attaching my worth to me having abs because I already knew I was worthy. I was already loving myself before I got the abs. So when I got it, it was just, oh, same old, just now you're here. You know, that's the feeling that I had. That's the feeling that I want you guys to have. Say out loud that you're beautiful. Why not? People are begging and scratching and itching to hear other people say, oh, you're worth it. Oh, you're beautiful. You're so pretty. If you can't even say it to yourself, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Say you're beautiful. It's literally one word. If you can't even say I am beautiful, what the heck are you doing? You can't even do your bare minimum. You can't even meet your bare minimum. You want to hear a guy say you're beautiful every day? Why can't you? You have the mouth. You have the mirror. You have the means. And it costs you $0. And that's probably why a lot of you guys are like constantly begging, asking a guy to call you beautiful or to compliment you. Do you compliment yourself? Stop begging. I'm telling you, it starts here. I got a little riled up by that last conversation because by that last point, I really just want you guys to know, like, you are amazing and you quite literally make your reality. If you want to be miserable, you can make your life miserable in every single way. And if you want to be happy and beautiful and joyful, you literally just have to tell yourself, I'm beautiful, I'm happy, and I'm joyful, and live that way. It is literally, quite literally, in your hands. It's in your hands. But anywho, my last point, and this is not a question, this is just things I want you guys to do to build a good relationship with your body. And again, take the points that we had for the 3 questions that we went over that I want you guys to, of course, analyze and take time to really think about and not just like rush through it. I want you guys to list ways you can stop viewing yourself through the male gaze. One example that I had is quite literally telling yourself out loud, stop, and start speaking about what you're doing and your surroundings to be present in that moment. That's just one example that I have that works for me. However, Google is an amazing source to figure out other ways you can do that and figure out what's best for you. The next thing I want you guys to do is to list ways that you will show your body compassion and patience. So one of the ways that I show compassion and patience for my body, and this relates to not showing your body harm when something like doesn't go your way and stuff like that, but I will do EFT tapping, you know, and if something doesn't go my way and I'm like feeling really hurt and I'm like really sad, I'll like speak positive affirmations. And the tapping, again, in my other videos I talked about, it literally gets the emotion out because I usually feel my emotions right here. And I didn't even really know what EFT tapping was. I just figured it out on my own and then later found out like there was an actual term for it. And you just speak good things into yourself. You say why whatever you're feeling, the negative or ridicule that you're telling yourself, why it's not true and why everything is going your way, why you're beautiful, why X, Y, and Z, and just start listing start listing reasons that you are beautiful and worthy and amazing and funny and flirty, like whatever that you need in that moment. And the EFT tapping serves as physical touch, right? Sometimes we want a hug, but this feels weird. And there's not always someone there to hug us. And also we don't want it to be too dependent on someone else hugging us because there's not going to be someone with us at every single waking moment. Having connections, having people that you can go to, super important. We love that. I'm not saying don't ever need it and don't shy away from it. However, and when it's 3 a.m. and you need that hug and there's no one around, you want to be able to have the tools to give yourself that comfort. And EFT tapping is one of the ways that I show myself compassion because I'm not hurting myself. It's a form of self-love. And literally we do this for babies. This is how we regulate babies' emotions. Whenever they're crying, you like tap their back, you rock them. It's a form of physical touch and love, and it helps them get it out because they start wailing and then they calm down. And you're like, oh yeah, they just need a little tap on the back. Baby, you need that. So just do that. And that's one of the things that I love to do. I also journal, I also go on walks. I do whatever I feel is necessary in that moment, but EFT tapping is a form of physical touch that I love so much. So definitely take time to look into the different zones or like points that you want to tap into, because I know some people do it around the eyes, some people do their hands, some people like do the side of their temples. It really matters to you on where you hold your emotions. If you want to instill confidence and reassurance in yourself while creating your personal constitution, follow my channel of Firmly Active Affirmations, where you'll find affirmations, EFT tapping, guided yoga, and so much more. For soundscapes such as brown noise, rain sounds, and even TV static to sleep, study, and meditate to, follow my channel of Firmly Sounds. And lastly, like I said before, I want you guys to look at yourself in the mirror every single day. And I want you to at least list 2 things you like about yourself. You can do one in the morning, one in the evening. You can do both in the morning or both at night. Just start speaking highly to yourself. You are what you eat. So if you're constantly feeding yourself negative things, constantly feeding yourself ridicule, that's all you'll ever be, just negative and ugly. Like if you quite literally tell yourself you're ugly every single day, you will become ugly, because in your mind you're like, well, ugly people don't brush their hair and I'm ugly, so I'm not gonna brush my hair. And then now you're ugly for real. Like, think about that. Like, you're not going to try to be something that you're not. You're going to try to be something that you are. And if you're constantly saying, I'm beautiful, you're going to be trying to be beautiful. And of course, beautiful in and out. But like, beautiful people care about their skin. You care about your skin. So you care about your skin, because that's what beautiful people do, and you're a beautiful person. Boom, 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 boom. But again, please take the time to think about those questions I asked you, those 3 questions in the beginning. And then, of course, the suggestions that I had are what I want you guys to put in your personal constitution: ways to stop viewing yourself through the male gaze, ways to show your body compassion and patience, and of course, what you'll say in the mirror every day, or make a promise that you'll say at least 2 good things to yourself every single day and look at yourself in the mirror. But I love you guys. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you take what I say. Don't take it with a grain of salt. Take a spoonful, okay? Everything I said is facts, all right? I love you, and I'll see you next time.